Hello, everybody. Welcome to the end. I guess we should do a video after it, though. Do you want to do a video about where we race to the past for old time's sake in Enter the Gungeon?
Yeah, you know what? That sounds like a good idea. It's a good thing that we were already prepared to do that, because our initial plan, obviously, was just to start this video, say this is the end, and then end the video. 5-second video. But you can't put many ads on that is the big problem, so we're actually going to have to extend it a little.
It's true. I mean, we could do 1 a second, but even then, it's just like, let's make it longer. 1 a second, make it at least 15 minutes. I don't remember how long these go. But yeah, we're racing to the past. We're getting, meaning from a fresh save file, we're getting hopefully all the pieces like we did in the very first our race video we ever did together a long while ago. A handful of different variations of the exact same series ago.
Exactly, yeah. The assembly of the bullet that can kill the past, and then deployal of that against the enemy.
Ideally, getting it all done in the same run because it is possible. It's just money is tight. What else do you need? Okay, well, I guess we'll figure it out on the fly. You ready to go? In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Did you cheat?
I did not. No.
Cheated. Okay.
I wouldn't sully this series by cheating in the last episode. I will cheat in the first through penultimate episodes, but not the last one.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. I still don't believe you, but that's okay. It turned into effectively a podcast where Gungeon was not a part of the commentary for the most part, so.
Exactly. You can't cheat at podcasts. I feel like
cheating stopped. Yeah, you can't cheat at a podcast. Except for, I don't want to call anyone out. Mostly because I can't think of a podcast. You know, like when it's like that, it's like the tweet you posted where Billy Eichner says, name a woman!
Yeah.
And it's like, when you're on the, like, just name literally any woman, and you just something so broad like that, you're like, oh, it's not about how hard it is to actually name a woman. It's, I need to think about what woman I choose to say and what that says about me.
Yes.
It's what it is. It's not really that it's hard to name a woman.
It's the same problem that I encounter anytime anyone asks, like, oh, what kind of music do you listen to, or what kind of movies do you like? I'm like, I've liked many bands in the past, and I've watched movies.
Answer first. You answer first, please. I'll answer after.
I need something
to answer.
Yeah, exactly. I need something to contextualize my answer. Like if someone's like, what are your favorite classic rock bands? I'd be like, oh, cool. I got lists. Perfect.
Yeah. That's like, I mean, it's not like, I don't know. You ask someone, what's your favorite color? I can answer that quick. I mean, I can sometimes answer that quick. Usually I just say red because it's what I decided when I was a kid, and I don't feel like reclassifying my answer ever since then. So it's like, I feel like it's easy to answer a quick question like that where there's no extra information that is gleaned from that unless you're into some extra kind of like, I don't know, a new branch of astrology that also involves colors or something.
Yeah, like a numerology or like maybe chromatology, I have to imagine. I wonder how many kids are stuck in that same thing, because you mentioned like not wanting to change your idea from when you were a kid. About your answer to your favorite color. I wonder how many kids are stuck in that doing the jobs that they said they would when they were 6 because they didn't want to change.
Me. I said I want to play video games.
Why, I mean,
now I'm stuck doing it.
I think every kid said that.
Well, then why isn't everyone stuck? Why am I the only one bearing this cross?
Woe betide.
Oh boy. So, where are you on your run? Let's briefly mention the requirements of getting the bullet.
Yeah, what are the requirements? Because I may actually forget them, and then that's going to be a hilariously poor episode. Is there anything I need to do on the first floor?
You need to make sure you get enough money to buy the Prime Primer.
Okay.
I have a feeling you spent your money.
No, not at all.
Because if you did, you can go to the the sewer. Oubliette. You could do that as a chance to. You would almost definitely get enough money, but also it is slower.
Prime Primer is what, 110, right?
Sure. I think so. I don't know. It's been so long.
I'm almost certain it's 110. If it is, then like I'm in the clear. Do not worry about me. I have been playing very sloppily here on the first floor, though. I will note that I don't play this game often when we are not recording, so I am very rusty.
That is allowed, and it's been a while. It's been a while.
It's been a while
since we've even done this.
Since we have raced the same maps, and it's been a while since I said I'm sorry for cheating at the start of every single episode.
It's true, you have.
In fact, it's been so long since I've said that I never did.
Wow.
And I stick by it to this day.
It's okay. It's too late to say sorry. Let's just do songs all episodes then.
Yeah, exactly. We're changing this series to Reto and Rhaps do karaoke, and we're ending it in the same episode. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
We finally struck upon the right format.
I've always had the idea and wanted to, but never enough to actually do the full commit. Wanted to do an entire musical episode of one of my series.
Yes!
But like, it's so much more work than just not doing it. No. But it sounds like so much fun.
Inertia carries me all the way through to not having to do it at all.
Exactly. So, wait, Prime Primer's 110. Tooth casing is from the dragon. There's the powder.
The arcane dusts? No, that's the powder, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, that reminded me. Yes. That's right. The one that's over the pit. That's right.
Yes.
Okay.
Wait,
important info. Thank you.
There's one over the pit. There's the one in the mine carts.
Yeah.
And then
the
there's this. Yeah. Okay, cool. You probably should have checked this before the episode started, but yeah, that's fine.
No, it's part of the danger. It's like we're not gonna. It's dishonest to change how we function just for the finale. That's dishonest, right?
You know, that's entirely fair. I hadn't considered that point, but it is dishonest.
It's basically lying directly. I think. Don't fact check me.
No, I'm not. I wouldn't dare. I've made sure not to fact check anything that is said in this series.
Yeah, that's probably a good bet. Oh, come on! I could have skipped the whole first floor. I got the 50 shell casing from a mini boss. That's so disappointing.
I gotta tell you, I did get that last floor, and I didn't recognize that it meant that I needed that I could skip the rest of the floor. So I just ended up almost full completing floor 1.
I kind of full clear because I was like, I'll full clear this and then I'll just go straight to the boss on the next floor. But I don't know. Turns out I didn't need to. Could have left it immediately. But the thing is, as soon as you make the wrong call and don't have enough money for it, you basically lost the race. Unless the other person does the same thing.
Yeah.
For whatever it is worth. You know what? It's dishonest of me to even give any bit of a care because this is not the series. I'm basically lying by caring about who wins.
What did I say about lying just moments ago?
If I told you I remembered, but I didn't, would you be mad?
Yeah, because that would be lying. And as I established just moments ago, I'm strongly anti-lying. And that I will always research any example that I think might be lying in this series.
I prefer having my stance. It seems like a lot less work.
Yeah. Almost certainly. Is there anything I need to do on Gungeon proper?
I don't think. I mean, by the Prime Primer. Did we just leave at the exact same time? Whoa.
Yeah, I think we did.
Wow. Okay. It's a race.
I will say, when you told me the price of the Prime Primer, I was looking at the Prime Primer. So I got from that. Oh, I think we're near-ish.
Yeah.
I need a faster
What
weapon
weapons do
though,
you-
I've got to tell you. They're all garbage.
What do you got?
My best is the Cactar. The Tickler, whatever it's called.
The what now?
The
Just
cactus?
the cactus?
Yeah, the one that tickles.
Oh. I think it's just called the cactus.
Okay. Doesn't really do any
Yeah,
damage to enemies though, so I'm gonna name it
No.
by how effective it is.
The tickler. Yeah. I never saw that. I'm confused. I have the grenade launcher. It's pretty much my primary. I hope are we on the same seed? It doesn't matter. We
I
didn't start
think
with
we're on the
seed.
same seed.
It'd be dishonest to have different seeds because the first time we did this, we had different seeds. That was before we knew about the majesty of seeded mod.
It's before our lives were infinitely improved by it.
How has your life improved since episode 1 of Reto and Rhaps Race to the Past?
Huh. When was the first episode? Like, it'd be, I want to say Feb? Maybe March of this year?
It's like a year ago, right?
Okay.
Like, For the King started at the very, very end of 2018. And therefore, depending on if we started Gungeon after that, it would probably be just a little bit later than that.
I'm trying to think when the I'm trying to think when the Chrono GG promotion was.
Ah, it's a good call. Yeah, it's a good call.
I would probably say broadly that I either moved during that period of time or I am about to move, so I get to count it anyway.
Yeah, counts.
Which is very, very nice. This is like a nice quality of life improvement right there. I'm about to die on the 3rd floor, so I'm just gonna focus up for a moment. Yeah.
It's a bad quality of life thing right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Being dead.
Please, if I have to use the cactus to fight colas ever again, I'm just gonna concede.
I almost left the 3rd floor. I totally forgot. We need all this stuff. We need the garbage to do the thing.
Where is the garbage that you
episode.
find on the 3rd floor?
It's just in its own specific room. It should be in a minecart, special minecart room. That if it doesn't show up, I don't know what we're gonna do.
Ooh, that is one thing. Actually, we haven't tried seeded runs with this. We don't know how that's necessarily
Yeah.
gonna function.
Hopefully it does. Otherwise, we'll just make up the rules on the fly and say we'll just fight the dragon instead.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I mean, it's very honest. Make up the rules on the fly. I feel like we've done that before. Especially during the good old-fashioned Reto and Rhaps Race to the Rat. The idea that sounded a lot better in our heads than it was on paper.
I mean, I'm still
in
happy to
action.
have done it.
No, I'm very happy to have done it. In the same way that I'm happy to have made any mistake. So that I don't make it again. Oh my god, I can't. I'm having the hardest time. Can I sequence break the carts? I think I can.
Oh god.
Yes.
Really? I found my boss before finding any item rooms or the exit room. Why do I have to
let
slow
me
down
tell
like
you,
this?
the exit room is after the boss room.
Oh,
So
that explains it. Cheers. I was gonna be really worried about that.
maybe that'll help.
Not the exit room, the minecart room. I just don't have set in my mind the ability to refer to the minecart room because I have to refer to it so rarely.
I did the minecart room so poorly. It makes everything else I did look like a completely different person was playing the game.
Well, that's where I'm gonna make up all my time then.
Maybe if you do it in a clean shot. Then yeah.
Right. Also, just like one good weapon, please game.
What do you got?
Teapot does not count.
We have the teapot.
Oof. Yeah, the teapot was from a chest that
Wait.
spawned at the end of a room.
Is the
which
teapot
those aren't
unlocked
seated.
automatically? I could have sworn that was.
I believe it must be.
It must be then. All right.
I mean, I
Doesn't
haven't gotten enough suspect ones that I would be concerned.
Yeah. I'm just confused because we've gotten none of the same guns as far as I'm aware.
There we go.
Whoop, whoop.
And that's the minecarts.
Nice. I mean, what boss did you fight on the second floor? Do you remember? I mean, I don't
Second
remember
floor
mine,
was
but yours
Beholster.
Did I fight for the holster? I think I fought for the holster.
Oh gosh. Who was your first floor boss? Was it Gatling Gun?
I don't know. Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Well,
a good sign. It doesn't mean much.
things are looking good.
This whole episode is just figuring out if we're on the same seed or not.
Have you got the Colt 1811?
I did.
Okay,
There
yeah.
we go.
And you would have
that's
gotten that in the room directly before the exit? Not before the exit, before the Minecraft? Minecraft?
Yeah.
I
Before
just
the
cannot
Minecraft.
say words anymore, okay? I
okay.
concede on words.
Also, I hate to be I'm actually streamer, but it's the Colt 1851, so we actually have different guns.
Yeah, sorry, mine's 40 worse.
Yeah, yours is 40 worse. That's how all guns and everything work. That's why it's a great thing that every time during New Year's we just decide that we add a year instead of going back.
Mm-hmm.
Since the years just keep on getting better because they're bigger.
Exactly. That's self-evidently true. Bigger number means obviously better. That's why anytime any enemy, any fool, any goddamn nonsense lord draws on me with an AK-47, I'm like, you absolute cretin. AK-48.
AK-48.
These.
I mean,
they're just
I'm
not
gonna
prepared.
school you with my Nimbus 2000.
What? Numbers go that high?
They do for brooms. Fool.
Damn. I haven't even got a... What would be the worst brand of broom in the wizarding world? Like, because obviously, like, in our world, it usually goes down to, you know, no frills product producers.
Yeah.
What would be a
like
no frills
maybe-
wizard world?
Maybe in the wizard world, like the Muggles they caught wind of the wizard world and they're like, they kind of want to get in on it, but they don't quite know how to craft the magic yet, so they just like Swiffer branches into it.
Mm.
And then instead of a normal broom, they got a wet jet or something.
Or they can't do magic, so instead they try and appeal to like the human magic, which is like science and engineering.
Yeah.
And instead just end up with like an overly engineered and overly marketed mess that isn't actually worth any of the value ascribed to it and is only really, you know, purchased for cult sensibility. I can't imagine any analogs in the real world for that.
Yeah, what companies? Honestly, I should
Exactly.
Say, yeah, what companies don't fit that? Excuse me, I already have the Colt 1851. Oh man, what a throwback to the beginning of the series when I was getting dupe items all the time. This is like, oh my gosh, we could do one of those episodes of the sitcom that they use for padding, where they just do a retelling of all the old episodes.
Oh yeah,
You know,
clip
like,
show.
remember that time and then they did it. We could just do a clip show.
All I
Remember
need to
that
do
time-
is get over the hump I have about not editing anything ever.
Oh yeah. No, I mean we don't have. We could just do it with our mouths. I'm not. How dare you assume I was implying editing? Then I would have to do it. Then I would have to do it too. Remember that time when, man, this would work better with a good memory, huh? Do I remember that time where?
Remember that time you rapped in the intro? That was real good.
I do. That was nice. It was not. It was not good on your end though. It was good. It was good on my end. It sounded great on my end. On your end, it was. It was a mess.
I'm glad that it worked out on one end, frankly.
Yeah. I don't know. Remember that time we almost fell in love?
That is true. We never actually ended up finishing asking the rest of those questions.
Yeah, it's true. Oh man. You know what? Whoever wins can go Google it real quick. Or if someone dies.
Okay.
We can slap on an extra one. That can be our remember that time when.
That'll work perfectly.
Remember that one time when I asked you to fess up about committing crimes?
Did I?
I think you said you stole a Pokemon card.
I did, yeah.
A Metapod.
It was a Metapod. I've retold that story recently and only increased how bad I feel about it. I don't remember the kid's name. I don't remember any other details other than the ones that are directly associated with how guilty I get to feel as a result.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. I just do you have any weapon to make the invisible pit easier? I
do. I'm using a M11.
Oh no. Oh wait a minute. If I drop this gun and pick up the new one, oh my god, dupe gun actually helped.
Dupe gun?
The fact that in my shop I had the Colt 1851 in the shop. There was another Colt 1851, so I was like, I'm not gonna buy that. But now I realize if I buy that, I'll get all the ammo for it.
Oh, it's weird because that's been a bug that's been haunting us for this entire series, and here in the final episode, it proves to be useful.
Oh my gosh, that is payoff right there. That is payoff.
It's bringing the series full circle.
Something we'll learn about the what happens when there's the opposite of it when we start our new podcast, The Lost Boys.
Woo-hoo-hoo! Finally.
Whoop. Oh boy.
Hang on. Oh god.
I think you're probably going through this quicker, aren't you? You done with it?
You'd think. But my weapons are complete garbage. So basically, after this happens, I'm sad. I have to go back to the normal game, and I will not do well.
Yeah, it's like returning from Oz. Whoop.
How so?
I don't know. It's like special there, and then you go home.
Oh, right. See, the thing is, Oz is home for me.
Oh. I fell in the pit.
I am really lucky I didn't, because I only have 17 bullets left in this gun.
Oh my god. Does it reset? Does it give you a different pattern? It can.
I don't know. I think we've debated whether or not it does that before, and it doesn't, but you blank. Like if you lose armor and lose all of your progress. Okay. No, that's actually something like there used to be a show called Oz. I think it was about a men's prison, and it was spelled O-Z, right? And I thought it was just referring to like the colloquial spelling of Oz for Australia.
Oh.
Like colloquially, like it won't always be spelled Aussie, Aussie, Aussie as A-U-S-S-I-E. It's O-Z-Z-I-E.
I meant the wizard variety.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but that's the second cultural reference that Oz has for me.
That makes sense upon hearing. Oh my god. This is the pacing has ground to a halt.
I'm only glad that it happened on both of our screens at the same time as well.
Yeah. closing in. I have ammo. Just can't make the mistake.
Fingers crossed.
Go for it. That is. All right.
Did you not find the final bridge and just try and roll across the pit instead?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
I'm a mad man.
I honestly recommend it. I spent probably an extra 30 seconds looking for the final part of the bridge.
What? I think there's 2 paths on the same thing, to be honest, because I definitely took a different way the second time. But the beginning was the same, and then I swear I took a different way near the end.
Yeah, might just
That would be
have 2 different split
surprised.
parts in the end. One of them might even
That
be a
would-
dead end. Maybe it gets real mean like that.
Oh, that would suck. I don't like, speaking of bad, this boss.
Mm-hmm.
Have you fought it?
What boss?
The boss of the floor.
There's a
Of
boss
4?
on the floor?
There's a boss on the floor of 4. I know you haven't played a lot of Gungeon recently, but every floor does have a boss.
Oh, sweet. Where are they?
Southeast.
Ooh,
Wink.
got him.
Wink.
See, okay, so there was a comment in a recent episode of you telling me the correct direction to go, and then someone calling it trying to play mind games when I went the wrong direction afterwards, and you were actually telling the
I read
truth.
that.
The thing is,
Yeah.
it wasn't mind games. I just cannot tell left from right.
Yeah. Is that truthfully? Grace can't tell that from.
Yeah, I have to
like-
put up my fingers, like, both in front of me in the shape of an L on each hand, and then go, which of these looks like an L for left?
Do you have any situations where you don't have to think about it though? Because Grace can't tell left from right, but when she's driving alone, and the phone says turn left, she has no problem with it then. But every other point in her life, if you tell her, she will pick the wrong direction first. Like, she almost has, like, not only does she have trouble with left from right, it's like she gets him literally reversed in all situations.
I mean, you
Is there any
can.
times where you don't have problems with it?
I've definitely experienced that in the past. I can't think of specific instances that are, like, consistent for being able to actually tell the correct direction. Left side of a hand, no. No, I probably just get used to those is the thing. But I guess that's also kind of what it is in terms of being able to tell while you're driving, is just having gotten used to it in that specific context. I don't know, probably things like, you know, Slay the Spire, knowing the left side of my hand, right side of my hand.
Yeah, probably
about
games
it.
you played a lot. But I wonder if then it's almost like you, in the same way that you memorize reflexes in like a Gungeon or something. You see it in that context, in that font, in that color, in that size, and your brain just uses it as a game mechanic almost.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why it's easier. So.
Oh, definitely. I 100% expect that.
Yeah. I never want to fight Doorlord with Pilot Starter ever again.
Well, there's a Doorlord. That sucks.
Yeah.
I hate
I'm taking
Doorlord.
so much damage. Yeah, anyone who likes a good time hates Doorlord.
I low-key might actually end up dying to Doorlord. Like, I'm going in with 4 hearts.
I did really bad against him. I didn't. I got 2.5 hearts, but I was taking damage at a pretty rapid pace. He's a tough boy.
God, you! Game gave me a duplicate weapon. 2 duplicate weapons on the same floor? Game! Chill!
Is it the secret room with the 3 chests?
No! There is one?
No. I if there is, I didn't find it. It just
Okay.
there's a secret room in Gungeon that has 3 chests. And if they're
Yeah,
all the
if you
same
open
view
them all
and you
up at the
open them
same
all up-
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it that one or is it
No.
just
It was just like a chest spawned at the end of a room and gave me the blunderbuss that I already had, and then I walked into the chest next to it, which gave me the moonscraper, which is also in the shop.
Oh, okay.
Getting all these lucky dupes. I would like one boss weapon at any point video game. If you just like...
Yeah.
I'm intentionally clearing more rooms than I need just to try and find one. Game, if you could reward me for my diligence.
Yeah, you'd think. Whoop.
You'd hope.
You'd think. I'm playing like real bad.
I have full cleared floor 4, so you're fine. Do not worry.
I mean, like, I'm playing real bad in the sense that, like, I don't know, I might die. I totally could.
I will say that is the only way you lose at this point, I would think.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm at 2.5 hearts, and I'm playing like, I'm playing dangerously. I think it's like because we haven't been doing a lot of the races recently. Like, it's been a long time. I mean, like, curtain back. The last time we actually recorded the races has been forever, because it's been a while since we've had a recording session due to like holidays and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And even then, the last recording session we actually had was just Stardew Valley.
Yep.
So like, I feel like my brain. I know you have it worse because you just haven't been playing Gungeon, but I feel like I haven't readjusted to playing Gungeon with bad items.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like I'm walking around and acting like I've got a fully loaded build, and it's getting me in a lot of trouble because enemies aren't dying as quick as normal.
Yep. The kinds of risks that you can usually afford to take can't always be taken in the speedruns. Please, Doorlord, just stop!
I hate him. So you got Doorlord too?
Yeah.
Alright, I think that confirms we're on the same seed. He's so rare.
I got Doorlord and a bad time consequently.
Yes.
I'm gonna need like the old man to save this run for me or something like that. Old man with the makeshift.
Oh yeah.
That's that's super common, right? I can just plan around that.
I mean, first of all, you would have to have makeshift cannon unlocked.
Okay. Well, that's gonna be difficult.
And the other thing that would save it, I don't know, maybe like a Yari launcher, which you don't have unlocked. Also, maybe like a, I don't know.
I have a lot of money, so a microtransaction gun that I don't have unlocked would probably also help.
Yeah, that's the one thing I said. We have differ. I do have the microtransaction gun. I have not gotten it though.
Cheater.
So
cheater. I said it at the very start, but this does completely invalidate any success that you might have. Now, if I won, I would obviously not bring it up. But in the case that I lose, you kidding me? That's obviously the only reason that it happened, even if it didn't turn up. It just messed with the numbers.
It messed with the numbers and the generators.
Mm-hmm.
And the randomness therein.
Exactly. You know, things can't be equally random if they've got unequal data sets. That's just an obvious thing we all know. They teach everyone that in grade 2.
It's true. In grade 2.
What subject were you most excited for in school?
Art.
Hell yeah.
Always art. Always art. Like, I don't know. I had like a digital art class at one point, and that was so great. That was really good.
So, what was your medium largely? Did you have like tablets and stuff in the classes?
No, I wish. That'd be cool. We could only use it if we brought it. I just like dinked around in Photoshop pretty much.
Yeah. It's honestly like a really good way to get started.
Yeah. And I dinked around with it, and you know, like I got into it was funny. I got into like super advanced art class on the basis that I was currently going to take a bunch of other classes and thus fulfill the requirements to take this one class. But like, first of all, it fell through, so I didn't even do them all. And then also, like, she totally misunderstood the situation and thought I said I took them all last year. So I was like completely in over my head. And like, she had all kinds of these requirements for everybody, but luckily she didn't know anything about Photoshop, so everything I made was impressive. But it was so much fun anyway. It was like an independent study kind of a thing, which I always liked.
like an independent study, is that kind of like a period where they just leave you to teach yourself and then
Yeah.
self-report on yourself?
Yeah, there was no computers in the room, the art room, so they said go to the library where there's just computers. So I did.
Rad. And how much of that time did you spend playing a portable version of CS 1.6?
I not as much as I wish. Honestly, I don't know what I did. I probably like. Do you remember that website StumbleUpon?
No. I remember it exclusively from like people referencing, oh, I discovered this website using StumbleUpon. Never encountered it in my entire life.
It's an old thing that I can't imagine is still around in any way. Or maybe it is. But basically you put in your preferences for what kind of things you're interested in, and you hit. It was basically like if you wanted a slightly curated version of Google's "I'm feeling lucky" button.
Okay.
And you would just type in like, I want to like take me to like a video game website, basically. Or I want to know about tech. Like I like tech. I like art. Here you go. This is what I like. Randomize. Just bring me to a random website. And I think I was into that for like 1 year, and I think it was that year.
What is probably the largest gem that you discovered on the site?
Oh, yeah, I have no idea. That's the thing. It's like it's one of those things where it's just such a blur because it's like the whole, the problem with technology. Everything's always at your fingertips, and it's like it takes it one step further. Is like you just half of the fun of the website is just pressing the randomize button to see what comes up next. So you're not even that excited. I don't know. Like I didn't even get that excited. You'd find like some games, some browser games here and there. Like I don't know. I played Line Rider a lot.
I played a lot of Line Rider back in my day as well.
I loved Line Rider.
There
were some times I just straight up brought my Nintendo DS in. That happened mostly. And there was definitely some times where I played Warcraft 3 on my laptop too.
Oh hell yeah! That Dota competitions were constantly going on in our school. Just if anyone had a class with PCs, you would know that they would be hosting a server, and if you were like me, liaison for the Sound and Light committee, but don't actually have a well enough defined job that anyone watches what you do, you can just leave and go to a computer and stop playing.
Yeah. And there's a wonderful thing about having a job that nobody else wants to do is it's also usually a job that nobody else understands.
Yeah.
So like you could maybe lie to them and say that it's part of the job.
I just got real lucky that I had like an elevated title, because what I actually performed was I was a big boy at the time, and they needed someone to move the cellophane lights. That was it. But I managed to parlay that into people thinking that I had any technical expertise.
Well, there you go. And that's how you got started on YouTube.
Exactly. Right? That's what really turned it around for me. The Mrs. YouTube allowed me to make an account after I said that I have experience with Sound and Light. Exactly. They checked my references, but my references luckily lied for me.
But you're anti-lying!
Only in this context.
Wait a minute! Your channel is founded on a throne of lies.
Look, don't tell YouTube.
Susan,
I need this channel.
Confiscate this man's YouTube.
No!
I mean, it's such a shame. I can't believe we're even talking right now. I forgot that the COPPA did happen and we are done.
Exactly, sorry, my bad. I forgot. YouTube is over again.
Yeah, that happened this week, and we both did sequentially lose our channel.
Mm-hmm.
Me and you, right in that order.
I'm making a new channel where I feel like I'm just gonna completely avoid all COPPA violations. What I'm gonna start by doing is making some parodies of maybe like Elsa interacting with Spider-Man. I'm thinking that's probably like real hot. I don't know, maybe review some Happy Meal toys?
Oh, that sounds nice. Yeah. Did you see that? Was it your tweet? I just don't know. Like, all my favorite tweets usually are from you in some ways. So I don't know if I just if I'm just recycling them. But did you see the AI generated movie thing? Was that you?
Which?
Saying like Mr. Bean and Elsa, you know, like it's making the movie and it's pulling from YouTube.
I
Mr.
had
Bean
not.
And Elsa review color fun toy. Just a bunch of filler words, as if that's gonna be the first movie the AI makes. I did indeed defeat my task.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm about to defeat the dragon. So instead, you may try and distract me so that I die while I attempt my past.
All right, I'm gonna pull up. Let's see, questions for love.
See, I had mine in a
36
Notepad++ document so that I could
That's a better idea.
break it afterwards by deleting any of the ones that we had already used. I also only beat the dragon on a half heart. Like, I had to straighten up and play right.
It's the only one you need. Here, let's see. What is the greatest accomplishment of your life?
Yeah, is it corny to say YouTube channel?
I hope not, because that's my answer.
I mean,
that's yeah.
It's probably like the thing that I have poured the most dedication into and received the most validation of the worth of that dedication out of. So yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it has to be that, right? It's the same for you, I have to imagine, as well, as you were just saying.
Yeah, for sure. It's I mean, by far the most successful thing I've ever done, ever tried to do. For sure, for sure. Here, let's
It's weird, like, I have not yet graduated from my course in university, but even after that, I can't imagine thinking that a higher accomplishment.
Yeah, I mean, because the thing is, like, I don't know, like, I didn't have people who told me necessarily I couldn't do it or I wouldn't be successful, but I didn't have a single person in my life who didn't not forcefully, but aggressively recommend backups.
Yeah.
At every step, which is not the same thing as someone just being like, don't do it, but like when it, you know, like talking about, you know, the progression of things and how well things are going, and then the immediate follow-up being like, well, it won't last forever. It's like, yeah, probably, but like, it's cool right now, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
It's like if anytime,
right?
if someone's like, oh, I just got a new puppy, I'm not gonna be like, oh, it's gonna suck when that dies. Like, that's an inappropriate response, friend.
That's what my dad about. That's why he, you know, he'll never get another dog for that exact reason.
Yeah.
He said so. And it's true. It's true though. It's sad. It sucks. And things go away. Things are bad. But also, you know what? Sometimes things end. Sometimes you record a lot of episodes of a really fun and special series. It's the first time you and your friend ever did a solo collaboration with each other, and then sometimes it ends.
Sometimes that happens. It's an infinitely relatable story.
Yeah.
I know I can.
I mean, I know I can. It's, you know, it's not like all the pieces are gone. It's not like that puppy didn't live a full life. They didn't all just disappear. It's not like you can't just play the series in its entirety on loop every night you go to bed so we get watch time.
It's definitely not like you can't do that.
The series is still here. We're not going away. We're just gonna go play Spy Party probably instead.
Exactly. That's another thing that I would say is like, sure, maybe YouTube does blow up. Maybe we definitely need backups. But having done YouTube prepares us to do other things. And in the analogy that we're currently employing, having done this series prepares us to do other series that you might want to watch, including the Stardew Valley co-op series that's currently going on and the Spy Party series that you teased there that might be happening in the near future.
Yeah, I mean, especially since, like, let's be honest, the Gungeon Versus series turned into, like, it should be a pretty clear representation when we both stopped pasting. I don't know if you ever pasted the links to the view sinks. Yeah, you did a long time ago. And and nobody has said anything for like 40 episodes.
I honestly think people just got used to the fact that I wasn't going to post the view sync because these episodes publish like at 6 a.m. while I'm asleep.
Yeah. Well, it's also just like, it really turned into not being about Gungeon. It turned into being about a podcast. So, like, I mean, I'd like to invite everyone who's maybe only watching these to go check out the other ones, because those are arguably almost effectively exactly the same to what we've been doing with Gungeon, just with a different thing in the background where, you know,
and more mental processing power towards talking as well, because Gungeon takes a lot of it for me at the moment. Oh, good
That's
lord.
the other thing, is you stopped your Gungeon series and you're going to perpetually be, not that it is
atrophy,
a competition,
garbage,
really
be awful,
but it's not that it's a competition really, but it is less fun when one person is playing it every other day still, and the other person doesn't play it anymore.
Absolutely,
like,
definitely. So if there has to be a competitive series, it should probably be based around a game that, you know, neither of us plays outside of that often at all. Yeah.
Or cooperative or something. I don't know.
Also incredibly true.
Is this over?
You know what? It can be. We can just start talking in another episode of something else. For the moment, my name's been Rhapsody. His name's been Reto. This has actually been his intro and his outro, so bye.
It's okay. It's par for the course. See you in the next series. Bye.
See ya.